Alright guys, we got a problem with our hot water heater. The light continues to go out after so much time. I can relight it no problem and turn it back on, but it just continues to go out. So we've obviously got a problem here. Don't want to have, you know, the landlord come in and Zaxter 99. Alright, so let me go ahead and grab my little lighter here. These are handy to have, I'm telling you that. Alright. So you're going to come over here. If you follow the instructions on relighting these things, let me go ahead and get down here and show you what this looks like. Alright, we're going to go ahead and check and see why this isn't working here, hopefully. I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down while I go ahead and try to light this. I'm going to be turning this switch here to pilot. Okay. You want to make sure you're lining up your notches there. There's a little notch right there that needs to line up with this notch down here. And then you're going to go ahead and press the reset button down for at least a minute after you get it to light. So we're going to go ahead and press it down. We're going to go ahead and light our little lighter here. We're going to hold it right there where it ignites. Right there you can see where it lit. It's right here where this tube runs into. You see the lighter colored tube that's closest to the camera. That's actually where that runs into. On the other side of that is where it actually lights. So after that, you're going to hold down, as you can see I'm still holding down the reset button. You want to continue to hold that down for at least 60 seconds. And the light should stay lit. If it doesn't, you're going to want to go ahead and turn the gas off. You'd want to go ahead and let go of the button, turn that switch right there off, give it at least 10 minutes, and then try again. You want to wait because otherwise you can get a gas buildup, and then when you go to try to light it, you can have a little explosion. Boom. You don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and continue to hold it. Now this right here is something that does go bad pretty often, I guess. And I guess it's pretty inexpensive to replace it. I've never replaced one, but we may have to try that if that is actually bad. Okay, it's been about a minute now. We're going to go ahead and release this and hope that our flame stays lit. Nope, you can see that it actually went out. So at this point we're going to go ahead and shut this off. And I'm going to do some other checks here. You can see that it's off. We're going to do some other checks here while we wait. Alright, the next step is to go ahead and check this. Little kink in it right here, but we want to go ahead and unscrew it right here. You will see that there is a little, looks like about a 3/8 inch nut here. Alright, I'm told here that this little part right here can get dirty. So the best thing to clean that with, never use sandpaper on it evidently after reading some information on the internet. But you can clean it with a t-shirt. Just the very end of it right there. Alright, so we got a light now. we'll see if it stays on. All right, pilot light, the burner will light, but it will not stay on. It goes on off every time within about 5 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and take this apart and see if we can't figure out what's going on. Also, before you take any of these off, guys, you'll see that I've shut off my gas. You want it running crossways from your pipe. That means it's actually shut off. So on my gas line here, you see that I have it shut off right here. Definitely don't want to be taking off any of these pipes with the gas on. That would be a big no-no. Alright guys, on this one here, on mine anyway, this one here is the thermocoupler. The size anyway is 7/16 here for this nut. And then this is the pilot light gas right here. This one's 7/16. And then here's your main gas line up here. It's the big one. And that one is, turn this down too. We already have the switch off. This one here is 3/4 inch. Obviously a crescent will do it too, but and by loosening these three, we should be able to get the burner out. Take a closer look at the burner. See if there's a problem with the burner. Let's take this whole assembly out of here. And then once you get these loosened on all three of these, you just have to pull down a little bit. Okay, once you get that out, then it should be just a matter of pulling your burner out. There we go. Pop it through there. And I believe that burner plate looks pretty good, all rust aside. And then you can kind of see in here where it goes. All right. It don't look that dirty up in there though. I don't have a flashlight handy, but you can kind of see in here that it's really pretty clean in here. So I don't think we have a problem of it not getting air. I've already taken this main door here off. I've already taken this off to try to give it some air in case it was, you know, not getting any air because of cleanliness or too much dust or whatever. And this one doesn't have, I was looking on the internet, this water heater does not have any kind of screens or anything under here that I can see that can be cleaned. I don't see any kind of vents on the side of the tanks anywhere. This is an older tank, or an older hot water heater, I mean. American Water Heater Company says this was manufactured in 2002, so I'm sure it was probably installed around then too. It's 2015 now, so we're talking about 12, 13 years old. I have a feeling it's still fine though. We just need to figure out what's going on down here. So I can kind of see one thing already. Look into this here. Again, if we have our plate here that's sitting inside here, this is where you know your burner burns here. This is where our flame goes, this sensor here, the thermocoupler, should be right in the line of this little groove here. Looks like it should be sticking up a little bit more. Looks like this should be poked out a little bit more. And then I don't know if the white suit on there is causing any kind of problems or not. I'm guessing we probably need to get a new thermocoupler. I will try to clean this up though and push this out a little bit more and see if it'll stay lit. But I don't think that's going to make a... Could be the problem. If we stick this out a little bit more and maybe clean this off, clean the end of this off a little bit with some water or something. You don't want to be scratching it with sandpaper or anything like that. But that might fix the problem. If not, we'll have to go ahead and get a new thermocoupler. Alright guys, you'll also see that on this burner here, I did make an adjustment on this thermocoupler on the right hand side. I cleaned it up and I moved it out a little bit more. That might be a little bit too much, but I don't think it was poked out quite enough from the videos and just looking at it on the internet, looking at pictures that I saw. So we'll try this. We'll try reinserting this burner and seeing if it works. After cleaning that and making a little adjustment, that's really all we've done here. And if it doesn't work, we're going to need to go buy a new thermocoupler, and we'll try that next because that's the next cheapest thing to do. Alright guys, to get this back in here, you'll see here that there's really no notches or anything under this. You do got a plate there in the back, right there. No holes or anything like that. Again, no notches or anything on the bottom side of this burner. And to get it in, looking at it, there's no light in here, but you go ahead and light this light here. Alright, you can see here with a light lit there, there's really nothing back there that's going to attach to that burner. So all you're going to do is you're going to take that flat plate of the burner and it's going to go right up under here, right under where the flame's at, that little ridge right there. It's going to go right up under there and then back against that metal post. And that's all that's really going to keep it in place. So we'll go ahead and put that in there now. So if you look how I have it now, this is what I'm talking about. See how I have that ridge right there, right up under the ridge there, and it's back up against that post with the holes in it up here on the underside, and that's all it really is to hold it in place. Actually, pretty much what holds this thing in place mostly is having all three of these pipes secured, bolted in here. You want to get these hand tight before you take a wrench to them, and then you want to make sure you're not tightening them too much. Obviously this bigger one's going to take a little more oomph than the others because you don't want to do damage to these by tightening them too tight. So make sure you're tightening all these by hand first. Once you get all these hand tightened, and you'll know it's hand tight or it's going in straight because it should be the first several turns on each of these nuts should go in freely with your hand. If it doesn't go in freely with your hand to start with, then you've probably got it aligned wrong or not straight, and you can do damage by tightening it down with a wrench. So make sure that you're taking care to make sure that they're started first by hand. And then obviously get in there. This is my 7/16. All right. Now one thing you can do to check for leaks is take some dishwater and a toothbrush and put it on all these connections here and turn your gas on and make sure that you don't see any kind of your dishwater bubbling out to check for any kind of gas coming out of those connections. And I would just paint that dishwater on with a paint brush. But we're going to go ahead and turn our gas back on here. Gas is very dangerous, guys. You want to be extremely careful. So let me turn my gas back on. We're going to go ahead and try this again now, and hopefully we can get this thing to stay on. Turn your pilot light back to on. You see the little notch there. You see the little notch right here, and you line it with that, and then this will actually allow this to push down. Note that while this is pushed down, you can't turn this pilot light to on because there's a little groove here on the plastic part. So you actually have to let go of this before you can turn this to on. Okay, make sure this temperature is set to lowest, and you'll just want to read the instructions that come with your gas hot water heater. So we're going to go ahead and try to light this now. A reset button here for a full minute after it stays lit. And this was not the problem before. The problem was we was able to go ahead and light the burner, but then the burner was actually just extinguishing and going out, usually within 5 minutes. So no matter how many times we lit it, the burner just kept going out. We're going to go ahead and hold this reset switch down for a full minute after it lights. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let it go now, and hopefully that pilot light will stay on. Okay, we have let it go, the reset switch. Now, because we've let this reset switch go, we can actually turn this pilot to on. Just like that. We still have our pilot light here. Now we just need to go ahead and turn this temperature control from vacation to hot, so that we actually have hot water. And again, every hot water heater, guys, is going to be different. Notice there how we have our burner lit. We've got it hot here. And let's go ahead and watch this burner and see if we can watch it stay on here. If it stays on for more than about 5 minutes, I think we've successfully fixed this. If it goes out, obviously we probably need to buy a new thermocoupler. Alright everybody, the burner on this hot water heater did not end up staying on. It looked like it was going to stay on, but it ended up going out. We tried it again. Stayed on for like 15 minutes, stayed on a little bit longer, but it eventually went out again. So I think it's a bad thermocoupler. So we went out and bought a new one. This thing was $11.28 at Home Depot. At the current time, it's got a 24-inch length on that copper pipe, but it's going to be too long, but we'll just have to make it work. So, universal thermocouple kit. So we're going to go ahead and put this on and see if it fixes it. Alright guys, we make sure again you turn off your gas every time you go ahead and loosen this. We've got our 3 pipes again disconnected here, and here we're just going to go ahead. There is a little clip here that's holding this on, but you're just going to go ahead and yank this. The clip's actually right here. We're just going to go ahead and yank this old thermocoupler out of here, and by pulling it, you what guys, when you open these, at least this particular package, I think they want you to ruin your new thermocoupler by the way they package it with this form-fitting plastic crap. They want you to tear up your thermocoupler getting it out of the package, so you have to go and buy a new one. So just be careful getting this crap out of the package, because it is kind of a pain to remove. Oh boy. Alright guys, we just I stuck the new thermocoupler after getting it out of this ridiculous packaging. Oh man. Anyway, stuck it back in through the same slot, just using the old clip here because it fits fine. And you just want to make sure that you're sticking it down. You don't want it perfectly even with the end of this pilot gas pipe here. You want it going a little bit past it. And then as you can see here, we've got more pipe than we're going to need because connections are right up here. So we're just going to go ahead and gently, we're just going to curl this up and make a loop. So just make sure you're being careful that you don't bend it too much in like a, you don't want to try to bend it in half or anything like that, and you should be fine. So All right, now it's just going ahead and putting it back on, and that loop there should be just fine. So we're going to go ahead and put the burner back in and make it work. All right, so we got the burner back in there, and now we've started all of our ends here again. Notice how I had to take that access copper tubing here on the new thermocoupler and just made a loop around it, or loop of it around the other pipes there. And again, you don't want to get these things too tight, guys. You get a lot of leverage on these wrenches. So alright. Well, let's go ahead and try it now. Let's turn our gas back on. Let's go ahead and turn this to pilot. We're going to go ahead and hold this in here and light it now. Alright, I'm hoping this burner stays on this time. Holding our pilot reset switch down here again for 60 seconds. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let it go here. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and turn the switch to on as per the instructions for running this water heater. Now we're going to go ahead and increase our temperature so that we light the burner. Turn it a little bit hot like it usually is, and hopefully this time we will keep a flame for more than 10 minutes. Alright guys, I'm not going to wait for this. I'm going to go ahead. I'm hoping that this fixed it. I'm going to come back out here and check it in about 15 minutes and see if it's off or still going. Still going in 15 minutes. I think we fixed the problem. So keep my fingers crossed and hope this has done the job. That is this new thermocoupler here. And here is the old one. Evidently these things go out pretty regular, so I'm hoping that's all it was. We'll soon find out.